Welcome back to the Lions Legion, Lancers. Today, I wish everyone confidence and determination. If you are new to the channel, then this channel is your source for Anthem Grandmaster 3-tier builds, loadouts, and gameplay for the Colossus, Interceptor, Ranger, and Storm Javelins, as well as tips and tutorial videos on how to maximize your Javelin's damage potential and survivability for Grandmaster 3. If you enjoy the content on the channel, then click the subscribe button to join up with the rest of the Lions Legion. Also, click the bell so that you'll be notified of every video upload. In today's video, we will be reviewing part 2 of a rather ambiguous topic within the current state of Anthem. This video will detail how to maximize our legendary arsenal, machine pistols, and shotguns. Notice that I say legendary, because after all of our various looting efforts, we want the legendary weapons that we receive to be as close to perfect regarding their inscription set as we can get them to be, so that we have the best options available when choosing a weapon to equip. However, in my opinion, this strategy should be utilized throughout all weapon tiers to help ensure that we solidify our inscription prioritization to increase the odds that we get what we want. Also, by the conclusion of this video, I hope that I clearly explained how and why I feel that weapon damage is not always the best option to default to. Obviously, increasing the weapon's base damage would be beneficial, but let's try to be more precise with our inscription choices through a little basic analysis. Therefore, the strategy that we will cover revolves around my understanding of Anthem's combat and damage system in relation to how our javelins perform within that sphere. This strategy has worked well for me, and I hope that it does for you. Firstly, to me, weapons in Anthem are primarily used to supplement damage from the javelin. Our highest damage numbers outside of weapons designed to be heavy damage dealers will be from our javelin's abilities and combos. However, weapon damage should not be neglected due to this, as higher difficulties like Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 will require each of our damage sources to be optimized in order to be successful. Relying on one weapon to carry the majority of our damage workload will make completing Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 content more difficult than it needs to be. An exception to this would be if we are able to route ridiculous modifiers into a high damage dealing weapon with a reasonable magazine size in comparison to its damage output. Therefore, weapon damage is important. Secondly, for this topic, we have sustain. Sustain is a key factor in combat to consider. Sustain is the ability to survive in combat, more specifically, armor heals and shield regeneration. The ability to heal our armor and or shields with a priority on armor will always be highly beneficial to our overall sustain. Now, because sustain is so important, I actually keep at least one version of each weapon with armor and or shield inscriptions. I prioritize armor over shields in most cases. In Anthem, Masterwork and legendary weapons have additional inherent effects. Due to these effects, the weapon's base damage may be lower to offset the damage or utility provided by its inherent effect. We will try to keep these points in mind when deciding upon which weapon inscriptions to prioritize. Now let's take a look at each of the machine pistols and shotguns and discuss which properties of each weapon make it more useful or deadly to assist us in deciding upon our preferred inscription set. In general, machine pistols and shotguns are designed to deal high damage at close to mid-close range. Both of these weapons become drastically less effective at medium to long range due to their inaccuracy and bullet spread. Also, because of the high degree of the bullet spread, it really isn't beneficial in general to prioritize weapon aim type inscriptions except for two specific cases. These weapon types are designed to be sprayed and to cover wide areas up close, dealing high damage. Therefore, utilizing these weapons optimally allows the weapon to shred within its effective range. So let's begin with the machine pistol weapon set. The first of which is the Retaliation of Garitas. This machine pistol has the longest range of all of the machine pistols. This makes this pistol the most accurate in its class. The inherent effect is that when armor declines, weapon damage increases by 400% for 10 seconds. Therefore, armor, weapon aim, and weapon damage increase inscriptions can greatly benefit this weapon. Next is the Unending Battle. This machine pistol is the standard balanced pistol. It boasts a high rate of fire and decent power. The unending battle's inherent effect is striker savagery. Hitting an enemy at point-blank range increases weapon and melee damage by 135% for 5 seconds. Therefore, weapon damage, global damage, and sustained increased inscriptions can be beneficial to this weapon. Since our melee is also increased by this effect, melee inscriptions on javelin components as well can assist in suiting a melee-focused build. And now, for our last machine pistol, Vasa Surprise. Vasa Surprise is the least accurate of all of the machine pistols, but it is also the fastest. Therefore, it would be a waste to try to make the weapon more accurate through inscriptions unless you were able to secure a 50% or greater recoil reduction inscription. Vasa Surprise's inherent effect is that all weapons magazines are instantly refilled on a successful melee hit. Therefore, considering that in order to successfully melee our targets we would have to be extremely close to them, this would make sustained inscriptions beneficial to this weapon. Also, global damage and weapon damage increased inscriptions would be beneficial to assist in a close quarters weapons focused loadout. This concludes all of the masterwork and legendary machine pistols, so let's review the shotguns Papa Pump, Radiant Fortress, and Rolling Carnage. For our first shotgun, let's review the Papa Pump. This shotgun is the Force Beast. The inherent effect is that reloading increases force and delivers bonus damage of 100% for 15 seconds, stacks to 2. Force in Anthem is used to stagger enemies and completely knock Scar Hunter variants, Outlaw Elementalists, and Dominion Valkyries from out of the air when hovering. Thus, the Force inscription and weapon damage increase inscriptions are highly beneficial to the shotgun. Here is an excerpt from the May 29th, 2019 patch notes for the 1.2.0 Anthem update regarding the Force inscription. It reads, quote, "All Storm Javelins, Elementalists, and Valkyries now regenerate their shields like other shielded creatures. When hovering, they can be grounded with Force or Fire status effects." End quote. With this in mind, the Force and reload speed inscriptions can greatly benefit this weapon. Additionally, enemies that hover have shields and shielded enemies have large hitboxes, so the weapon aim inscriptions are not really necessary to maximize the weapon's functionality. Next is the Radiant Fortress, which is my favorite shotgun. The Radiant Fortress's inherent effect recharges our shields by 35% with every 8 successful shotgun shells hit. Therefore, weapon aim recoil, and hip recoil inscriptions can greatly benefit this weapon as they will enable the weapon to fire more accurately and trigger its inherent effect. The Rolling Carnage shotgun is our last to review. The inherent ability of the Rolling Carnage shotgun is Scout's Advantage. Dashing increases this weapon's damage by 83.3% for 20 seconds, stacks to 3. We can see that this weapon is literally its name. The weapon is about mobility and high damage. Therefore, weapon reload speed inscriptions and sustain inscriptions can be highly beneficial for this weapon, especially the weapon reload inscription, as this weapon fires 2 shots with each trigger pull. I hope that you found the information and opinions that I provided useful in helping you to maximize your weapon arsenal. In the gameplay in the background, I've showcased builds that I have created that feature each of the weapon types that we covered today. Feel free to check those out as well. I've never really been a player that enjoyed spray and pray weapon types, but the machine pistols and shotguns in Anthem are actually the first in a game that I have actually really enjoyed firing. I've always enjoyed sniping, so Annihilation is still my favorite Ranger loadout, but I would have to say that my Bloodsport build is right up there as well. I'll leave an in-video link to these loadouts showcased today. Also, check the description below for this link to the new Lions lot. Here you can find merch that represents the pride, prowess, and style of those in the Lions Legion. If you'd like to donate to the channel to help improve the quality of the content, then check the link in the description below, as I do have my eye on some new editing software to amp up the gameplay sequences. And as always, I appreciate your support as we grow the Legion. If you appreciate the video and information, click that like button for the video. You can also click the subscribe button to join up with the rest of the Lions Legion as well. Remember to share the video and help fellow Lancers increase their legend as we are stronger together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And now to all my strong lions and lionesses, growl with confidence.